get that son of off the field right now. Out.
You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality.
And when you get on your knee and you don't respect the American flag or the anthem, that's not being treated with respect.
It's not hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true.
And I felt when the hand went up, time was coming to an end.
As he sees the U.S. flag as a symbol of oppression and tyranny.
I think protest is one of the strongest instruments that we have.
Before Colin Kaepernick sacrificed his status in society as an NFL quarterback, ultimately losing his job for silently protesting racial injustices. Before Mahmoud Abdul Rauf was suspended, silently protesting the national anthem as a symbol of oppression, there was one man.
Craig Hodges. Fans have been waiting for this. 12 in a row. 13. Unbelievable.
Craig Hodges played with Michael Jordan, winning back-to-back NBA championships in 1991 and 1992. In the three-point contest, he is only one of two men to win 3 consecutive titles. The other, Larry Bird. The fact is, dude could play. Growing up, he'd reflect, my family was involved in civic groups and civil rights organizations. There were always books in the house. We were always talking about the civil rights issues of the day. He viewed his sports heroes as athletes of integrity who never backed down. Muhammad Ali, John Carlos, Kurt Flood, Arthur Ashe, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Praised a great shooter. Every team needs a shooter like Hodges by the media. Hodges disposed of the Pistons in the 1990 playoffs. Then, in March of 1991, Rodney King, a defenseless black citizen, was beaten by the police department of Los Angeles. A month later, the Bulls and Lakers met in the finals, and Hodges approached the game's 2 biggest stars, Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, regarding a protest of the game for racial inequalities in America. Sound familiar?
I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people.
Michael said I was crazy, Hodges says, and Magic said it's too extreme. Lack of unity, lack of cohesion, an unparalleled border of the corporate and the non-commercial. Ultimately, Hodges rescinded, but it stuck with him, a lesson learned. At the White House, he took advantage of his moment, dressed in a dashiki, and wrote a letter to President Bush. This letter is not begging for anything, but 300 years of free slave labor has left the African American community destroyed. It is time for a comprehensive plan for change. Hopefully, this letter will help become a boost in the unification of inner-city youth, and these issues will be brought to the forefront of the domestic agenda. Then, in April of 1992,
the violence erupted after the acquittal of 4 white policemen in the beating trial of black motorist Rodney King.
The 4 white police officers, via a jury of all white citizens, were acquitted. Riots plagued Los Angeles. When asked, Michael Jordan said, "I need to know more about it." Hodges apathetically called him out. "I'm not going to tell Michael what to do. At the same time, I cannot go talk to young kids and not use Michael as an example of what is possible because he has so much and he has children in the palm of his hands." For context, this was after Game 2 of the NBA Finals, in which Hodges and Jordan were teammates. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would later say of Jordan,
"You can't be afraid of losing shoe sales if you're worried about your civil and human rights. You can't be worried about that." He took commerce over conscience. It's unfortunate for him, but he's got to live with it.
25 days later, Hodges was released by the Bulls. No one returned the calls. "I was the defending 3-point champ and a member of the championship Bulls, and I couldn't get a team to return my calls." His replacement was 33-year-old veteran player Trent Tucker, who averaged a measly 8 points per game in his career. Hodges played overseas and in lower level leagues, at one point hitting 27 three-pointers in a row. 27! He was like a machine. One coach, however, told Hodges there was nothing he could do because brothers have families, if you know what I mean. Hodges was also barred by the NBA from defending his 3-point shootout title in the All-Star game, citing a rule stating he must be on a team. In 1989, Remus Kurtinaitis of Soviet Union participated in the 3-point contest. He never played in the NBA. Magic Johnson also played in the All-Star game, even though he was ineligible after announcing he had HIV. After much pressure, Hodges competed, but fell short. He never stepped foot on an NBA court as a pro basketball player again. again. Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness. Craig Hodges surrendered the allure of the NBA to represent those that have been wronged by the political system in America. It is yet another prime example of the lack of unification from our sports heroes. Would the course of history have changed if Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson spoke out? Would justice be served with 4 criminals brutally beating Rodney King? Would the lessons learned from Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X be just as powerful if Michael and Magic co-signed? Those that live in the 1% financial bracket have the choice. Speak for the other 99% of us, or dance to the tune of hierarching rulers of sport that co-sign a different set of rules. Lack of individualism, purging the socially conscious, stripping their livelihood, assets, and most importantly, their voice. Charles Barkley once said he is not a role model. I tend to concur. Mentoring the public is not in the job description of pro athlete. Notwithstanding, many have sacrificed before. Many will sacrifice in the future. If the harmonious consensus is undivided, there would not be another Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, there would not be another Colin Kaepernick, and there would not be another Craig Hodges. If you'd like to hear more thought-provoking content like TYT Sports on Facebook and to help in my journey to keep media independent, go to tyt.com/Rick.